everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Woo, woo. Warm-up 26 is on the screen. Let's get started, please. For number 1, it says standard deviation and bell curve. For number 2, it says best fit line. However, look up to the graph. There's actually 2 graphs going upward. One for Apple and one for Samsung. Pick either one, get your best fit line, and write your equation. Okay? I'll give you guys some time. After a couple minutes, I'm going to give you a code so you can log in. All right, check with the neighbor, see what they got for number 1. They should be done working on number 2. See, here we go. For number 1, it says compute the standard deviation and sketch the bell curve. I need a mean. Let's start over here with who have we called on? Let's call on Jake. What'd you get for the mean, Jake? 6. Hands if you got 6. Looks about right. Now we need a standard deviation or a sigma. Tell your neighbor what you got for standard deviation, please. What'd you get for standard deviation? All right. So standard deviation, let's see, S. How about Maddie? What'd you get for standard deviation? 4. Hands if you got 4. Looks about right. So if we go 1 standard deviation up, that's 10. 1 standard deviation down, that's 2. So my range or my norm is from where? From 2 to 10. So before I move on to number 2, look up. Tell your neighbor something that you observe from this data and the norm. Tell your neighbor what do you observe from the data to the norm. All right. All right, Maddie, pass someone. Who? Let's go, Claire. What do you observe? 2 people. Which people? 1 and 13 are not in the norm. So 1 is over here. And 13 is over there. So that means 2 are not in the norm. Thank you. All right. So with that said, let's go to number 2. Which graph did you use? Did you use Apple or Samsung? Claire, pass someone. Bell, which one did you use? Samsung or Apple? All right, so where did you start? Over here. 160, okay. Something like that. All right. So Bell started at 160. Now, earlier with the other class, I thought they were talking about million, but looking very closely, look up. Do you guys notice that it has a little B next to it? What do you think B stands for? Yeah, billions of dollars. That is correct. So, with that said, y equals mx plus b, y equals blank x blank. My y-intercept, Bell said, is 160 billion. I'm just going to leave it as 160. If I pick another point, it's touching this one right here. So it looks like it's going up from 160 to 180. So it's going up how much, everyone? 20. How many steps to the right? It goes year by year, so it's only 1 step from here to there. So my slope is 20 over 1. Therefore, my new equation is 20x plus 160. So what does that mean, Mr. Q? That Samsung started at how many billions of dollars? 160, and it goes up how many billion per year? 20 billion for each year. That is correct. All right. So send that in, please. Hurry up, hurry up. Send me your warm-up. Okay, we good? Thank you. Copy the agenda. Warm-up 26 is done. Statistics and probability studies. And tonight, study only. Let's see who falls. Let's go with Anessa. Why do you think, Anessa? Study tonight. Ooh, that's a good idea. Anessa for Presidente. She suggested a pop party tomorrow on a Wednesday. I don't know. I'll think about that. Yeah, it'll be interesting, though, if they would. Yeah. All right. Now, today you're not going to need a code. However, you did have home play yesterday that looked something like this. So turn it in on the screen, please, right now. Do that right now. Bless you. I just sent you a screen. Turn it in. Go. All right, just a reminder. This is being recorded. If you are absent for whatever reason, if you're a Power Ranger saving the world, where do you go to find the lesson and the home play of the day? YouTube, 23 Mr. Q. Log in, go to the latest video, take notes, do the home play that's on there, and so on and so forth. All right, we good? George, you good? Yep. All right, here we go. Our objective for today can identify statistical studies, and we're in the middle of statistics. Now, before you start writing on a new page, we're going to answer everything on the screen today. So don't get a new page started. I'm just showing you the objective that we started already with. We're in the middle of statistical studies. However, the word statistics should bring you something to mind. Is that correct? All right, tell your neighbor 3 things about statistics. 3 things about statistics. Thank you. All right. With that said, type it in on the critical attributes. 3 things. 3 critical attributes of statistics. Go. All right, let's continue. So we already have the notes for that. But then we have 2 things that we started with yesterday, observational versus experimental. So before we move on, tell your neighbor the difference from an observational study to an experimental study. Talk to your neighbor. What's the difference from one to the other? All right, good conversation. Type it in on the screen. Type me the definition for observational study and a definition for experimental study without looking at your notes. See if you can just reword it in your own words. What's an observational study? What's an experimental study? Thank you very much. All right, so once again, observational, observe, conclusion from the data. Give me a second. All right, thank you guys very much. I had a double animal style with the patties extra grilled, extra mustard grilled, and the buns extra toasted. Oh yeah, that is bomb. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Next, look up. It reads, example 1. What type of study was being done? Mr. Q sits back and records observations and conclusions on the number of students attending tutoring in the morning. So think about it. Don't say it out loud. Tell your neighbor what kind of study is that, observational or experimental? All right, type it on the screen. Is it observational, experimental, and why? Why do you say that? Type it on the screen. Thank you guys. I saw that the majority wrote observational, that because there wasn't a variable introduced to create a response. Yes, that is correct. Go to the next one. Look up to the screen. Again, it says, same situation, but it says, what would you change to make it experimental? Think about it first. Don't say it out loud. I'm sitting back, recording observations and conclusions on how many students attend tutoring in the morning. Comma, what would you add to that to make it experimental? Tell your neighbor, what would you add to that to make it experimental? All right, type it on the screen, please. What would you add to that to make it experimental? Type it on the screen. It reads, make up an example of an observational study. Think about it first. Think about it. Make it your own. What would you do to make an observational study, all right? Don't tell your neighbor. This is all you. All right, type it on the screen. What would be an example for yourself to make it an observational study? Type it on the screen, please. 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, 2, 1, send. All right, here goes one from one of your colleagues. And it reads, an old man watches how many kids use skateboards in front of his lawn. Okay. Is that an observational study? Yes. Just observe and just watch and see. However, comma, think about it. Pay attention to this part. How would you make that an experimental study? Talk to your neighbor. How would you make that an experimental study? How would you make that an experimental study? All right, looks like Val's got it. Very good, Val. I see you. Aiden's got it. I see you, Aiden. Who haven't we called on in a while? Let's see. How about Vivi? What would make it experimental if the old man did what? A ramp? Ooh. Will that increase more kids coming with their skateboards? Yes? Yeah, that would be experimental. How about this? What if the old man brought out some pit bulls? What does that do? Yeah, deter skateboarders, right? So we can go either way. All right, we got that next. Here we go. Let's go with number 3. What is the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics? Without looking at your notes, now we're reviewing what we did in the past 2 weeks. Write a keyword for descriptive and a keyword for inferential. Do that on the screen. Don't tell your neighbor. This is all you. See if you remember. Keyword for descriptive, keyword for inferential. Go. All right, looks like we got it. Here goes one from one of your colleagues. Yeah, hands if you agree with that. Yes. All right. Not bad, not bad. Let's move on. Next. What is the difference between qualitative and quantitative variables? Remind your neighbor, please. All right, type it on the screen. Difference between qualitative versus quantitative. Write it on the screen. 30 seconds. Here it goes. Qualitative, no numbers. Quantitative, numbers. Yes? All right. Next, difference between discrete and continuous. Write it on the screen. Discrete versus continuous. Write it on the screen, please. All right, here goes one from one of your colleagues on your screen. Discrete can be counted. Continuous cannot be counted or totaled. Very good. All right, move on. Next, give an example of interval variable classification. Talk about your neighbor. What is interval variable classification? Give an example. Go. All right, so here's one from one of your colleagues. They're talking about specific order and ranking, such as GPA, when they select valedictorian versus salutatorian. I'll go with that. Thank you. Let's move on. What are the 4 most common data sampling methods? Think about it. Data sampling methods. Don't look at your notes. Type them in there. 4 sampling methods. We did that in class. I had you guys get up and all that. 4 sampling methods. Go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here goes from one of your colleagues. On your screen, they wrote stratified, systematic, random, and cluster. That is correct. Next, what are the most common type of surveys? You know 3 of them. Add an extra 1. Type it on the screen. Most common type of surveys. Type it on the screen. 3 were the most common, but see if you can add 4 or maybe 5. Go. Here go some of your responses. Oh, snap. And so on and so forth, yeah? All right. Social media, I see a lot of you adding social media. That is correct. You're being tracked with all your social media. Also, by the way, guys, did you guys know that stores specifically, let me get specific, let's say like Food for Less, maybe Costco. You guys know that there's cameras above, right? Okay, those cameras are not only for security. They actually track you when you walk in to Food for Less and all those stores. You're like, how do they do that, Mr. Q? Check this out. Think about this. Last time that you went with your parentals to grocery shop, think about that. Don't they usually take the same route every time? Pretty much, right? Well, guess what? The cameras figured out a system where they just go with the silhouette of the person and the route that they take, and that's how they collect data. I know. Can you believe that? That's why, if you think about it, there's certain items at eye level that they bring to you. So like that, those are the ones that they want to sell the most because they have to be at eye level. That's what you're going to be reaching for. But anyways, that's just a little bit insight. All right, I'm going to send you a blank screen. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with all the concepts we covered? And sketch me an emoji, please. From 1 to 5, a number from 1 to 5 and an emoji. For those of you that are following on YouTube, make sure you put some study time in. You can use this presentation for that. See you guys next time.